Guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Monday afternoon. I hope you're well. I hope you've had a good weekend. And today's treating you as well as it could do. Obviously, if you're working, I'm sorry. But if you're not, enjoy it. I hope you're making the most of it. As you can tell, filming in a bit of a different way. It will change a little bit as the week goes by. I'm no longer recording on my phone at the moment. This is actually being done on a MacBook, so it's a little bit different. It will change a little bit more as the week goes by, so just be patient with me. It will get better. In this video, we're talking a little bit about the Nottingham Forest game. I want to sort of give you my thoughts and views on it, talk some stats, some good things, some funny quotes from people like Roy Keane, which always makes me laugh. And as well as that, we are talking a little bit about Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, the guy that came on and partially changed the game. I think you can't say it's all down to him. Obviously, there was other players that came on and made a big difference. But we're talking a little bit about him and his situation going into next year. So plenty to get into, plenty to talk about. Just want to say that if you are new, give us a subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. Let's chat, though, the game first and foremost. Obviously, a game in two halves is the best way you would sum it up. A game of anxiety-riddled, edge of the seat stuff at times. And it was one of those that, like most Spurs games recently, we've needed a goal to kind of really kick us on. I thought we scored fortuitously. I don't think we played well leading into their goal. They probably could have scored straight after again. Obviously, Chris Wood hitting the post from me to my camera, sort of close. It was a bit weird, really. But look, we didn't play well in the first half, and I think Ange went in there. The hairdryer came off the wall. He's throwing it down, and he's getting into it a little bit. I do think there's a lack of quality competition for places, and at times I think players can kind of think, well, I can coast through a half, or if you think, oh, we're playing Forest, they're down there in the relegation zone, we'll play down to them a little bit. We don't need to focus all that much, and you can see it really does take an effect. And then when you bring on players that are hungry and players that want their position in the first team, it makes a difference. Pierre came on, brought energy to the team, kind of. He more sat in this sixth role than anything. I think Basuma was getting forward and we were getting caught out because of that. And Bentancur, obviously, everyone knows I still think Bentancur is our best midfielder. I've said that when he was injured. I'll still say that now. I still don't think he's even remotely fit. And that's because of the broken toe, the ankle issues, the ACL from last year. I think next season will be the season where we see a proper Rodrigo Bentancur, and I can't wait for it. But, I think also, let's add some context. Pierre Højbjerg could have allowed us to concede a couple from just misplacing passes, just poor on the ball at times. So as much as he did have a good energy and he did kind of bring in some, solidifying the midfield, you can also still see, he's still not right for this system because he can't get on the ball and knock it out from the back. So grand on 1 point, could have conceded a couple with him on the field anyway. So, and that wasn't down to the defending, that was down to him. So let's add that context. He had a good game though, I would say, before someone thinks I'm a Højbjerg hater, which I'm not. Looking into the rest of the team, I thought Timo had a good game. He's for a guy that's going to cost, let's say, about £15 million, his return on that is very good at the moment. Lots of goals and assists in his starts. I look at starts more than anything. I did see someone saying that we need a conversation about Sonny. I was like, you need to have a conversation with yourself, mate, because you are well off the mark. If you think we need a conversation about Sonny, go and support like 2009 Barcelona, because you're really not living in the real world. The fact that he's had a really good season, the fact that he's having to travel all across the world for international duty to come back and then play 90 minutes, live in the real world, mate. If you're sitting there thinking we need a conversation about Sonny, go to the door there, check yourself out, go support someone else, in my opinion, because that's just pathetic. But looking at the performance from the guys, we did play well. I mean, 17 shots to their 13 probably doesn't tell the full story of the game. With 64% possession, which, again, we're getting on the ball, but, I think this time we were seeing some more opportunities from distance. Obviously, I know Mickey's goal was fantastic, but I just think in general we were starting to actually let fly a little bit more. 12 quarters to 2. Again, it's that thing where we could probably get a bit more from corners at times. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being a bit pessimistic about those sort of things. Looking into sort of how we are in the table, we're into 4th now. Obviously, we are level on points with Aston Villa, but 3 goals ahead on goal difference, which It's like an extra point, really. It's like being on 61 points to their 60, So that's always really nice. And obviously, looking at Manchester United in sixth, to give you an idea, 11 points clear with 7 games to go. So obviously, game in hand on Villa, with that being Chelsea away. So plenty still to play for. Plenty of hard games to come. Obviously, got Newcastle away at 12:30 on Saturday. That's never easy. They're always going to be up for it. When you're playing a top 6 club, you're always going to be up for it, right? No matter if you are a top 6 club or not. Obviously, with Newcastle, if they were to win, they actually go into 6th, which, everyone says Newcastle have had a bad season. They go into 6th. Obviously, ahead of every other team that are playing, but actually, if they'd go level on games with West Ham, and they'd be 2 points clear of them. So that's quite big. Chelsea's still got plenty to play for. They're only 5 points behind Man United with a game in hand. So between sort of 6th and I'd say 10 or 11th, you're looking at sort of 6, 7, 8 points. It's not a lot, really. And it's not a lot for us when we look at Man United being 11 points behind us. So we've got to be on it, really, So, yeah, massive, really, in all things considered. Obviously, Mickey, fantastic goal. Porro popping up. I said 3-1. We won 3-1. I said Porro would score. Porro had scored. So, don't want to say I'm a genius. I'm not going to say that either. I'm not. I'm an idiot. But no, all in all, it was one of those trap games. We win. We move on. We get on with the rest of our time. So, look, happy days on the win. Moving into some of the funny things that I saw quotes-wise, I won't put them on the screen. You'll have to just listen to me on this one. So I had one from Roy Keane on Ryan Yates, the man that for some reason cannot get sent off for the hundreds of fouls that he gives. What I don't get, he's on a booking, he does the VAR sign. That's the same as doing this. That should be a booking in itself. Or is that not? Look, it doesn't matter now, but that's something they should be aware of. If I'm going up to a ref doing this, I expect myself to get booked because of the fact that I'm asking for a booking. I'm asking the ref to do something. It's the same thing on VAR. VAR are going to check everything anyway. But if you're doing the VAR check, then surely that's the same thing. But no, he was talking about his antics. Antics being the key word. He said he likes to give it out, so he has to be prepared to take it. It's dramatic. He needs to toughen up. If you give it out, you've got to take it. And Keno's right, this is a guy that goes down like he's been shot by a sniper if someone sneezes near him, but he's happy to kick out at people. So, yeah, donut. Postecoglou was talking about Mickey van der Ven, the man himself. He said that Mickey van der Ven has a real ambition and determination to be the best he can. It is a credit to him. We're not going to be the ones who put a limit on him, and he wouldn't let us either. And Jamie Redknapp was talking, saying, this is a guy that he could potentially be a Virgil van Dijk. He said if you look at where they are at this age of 23, he's actually ahead of where Virgil was at 23. Now, if he turns out to be 75, 80% of Virgil van Dijk, we've got a world-class defender on our hands. So, a little bit of that. And my last one is we've actually equalled last season Premier League's points tally of 60, and we've got 7 games left to play. So when people go, we haven't progressed, we haven't improved, there you go. You're a donut if you think you haven't. So there's that. Right, let's talk Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. So it came from Nicola Shiro, said that Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is not satisfied with his current role at Tottenham. He wants to play more, and so he can leave Spurs during the summer transfer window. His contract with Spurs expires in the summer of 2025. Look, I've talked about it a while. I think he will move on. I think he will leave. I think when you look at a situation that Conte may go into Napoli, or Conte may take over a different Italian club, I think he'd probably ask for a Højbjerg because he's going to be reasonably priced. His wages aren't going to be too crazy that an Italian team can't afford it. He knows what he gets. He knows that he can do the Conte system as well, which obviously is quite big. Napoli, Milan. I don't think Roma would take him now under Daniele De Rossi. You might see a League One side come in for him. You might even see a lower team in the Premier League. I think, yes, they showed we need a 6. We also need a 6 who can actually get on the ball and play. So we've got Basuma, who maybe at times has lacked that defensive ability, but with the ball, no concern. Then you've got Højbjerg, who can do the 6 ability, but lacks the ability to get on the ball and do things with it. So between them, we'd have the perfect 6. But we don't. So that's why, when people talk about a Nana or a Fafana, guys that are a bit of a midfield destroyer who, but if we gave them the ball, out of the feet, bosh, first time, take it past the player, continue on. And we don't really have that. So, yeah, that's why I think he will move on. And I think Spurs would be right to move him on. I think this is the crazy thing, people look at yesterday's game and go, keep him. But he's good in flashes. When we've asked him to play 90 minutes, it's been a horror show. So, and he starts to hide away from the ball because he's starting to make mistakes. And you even saw it yesterday. He was starting to hide from the ball. So, look, I think we'll be right to move on. Let's get our money. Let's reinvest it into a 6 who we know is going to be here long term. Be smart. Don't live at the moment. But anyway, guys, in the video, I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video. If you did, hit me in the comments section your thoughts and feelings about the game yesterday, as well as your thoughts and feelings about Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and his situation next year, where you think he's going, how much you think we're getting, all that stuff. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the notification for more. But anyway, guys, in the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon.